Free literary festival. It's in the uptown Oakland area, so it's between like 24th and Telegraph Broadway, all the way down to like the Fox Theater. And it's all walking distance from BART. Like I said, there's no charge for anything. It's 3 one-hour segments, and during each of those 1-hour segments, there's 10 separate readings happening concurrently. So you really get your choice of what you want to see. And, you know, a lot of people will dip into one, hear a couple of poems or stories, then wander on to another one. But there are also half-an-hour breaks between each hour, so you have plenty of time to get around, meet friends, get a bite to eat, and not feel rushed doing it. So if you can, please do come out. It's Saturday, July 12th. Yeah, I guess that's about all I have to say about it. I didn't have time to print anything out, so I have to read from my electronic device. So there might be moments where I have to pause in between pieces while something loads, so please try and bear with me. And I'll try and be timely about it too and not go on too long. Let's see, where to begin? All right, I'll start with something really easy first. This is called Never Enough. You know that, no, wait, feeling. It's never enough. Time, the pang of desire, to continue, to do a tiny bit more, to reach back into the cookie jar of your chest, retrieve the last beating, hung in violent response among the arcing branches, the moonlight shining in through the tangerine taut skin. Wager with both hands down at the bottom, dangling like feet. Up, eat, sleep, and die getting higher, wondering how the concept of enough ever bubbled up. This is the part I was talking about. It's just a little bit too long. Like if it was just 5 seconds shorter, it'd be all right. All right, so this one, I don't know. I write 3 or 4 different kinds of poems I've come to realize, and this is a different type than the last one I read. I think it'd be pretty easy for you to see. This is called Repeater, and it's a little bit, whatever. It's a poem. Here we go. Repeater. What if your baby was a real Bathsheba, a brown-nosing, blown-out bar bathroom star diva, powdered out and so serious, doing donuts around her eyes, your hips, her lips, and your penis, crossing lentils with Kleenex for a blood-speckled being, pearlescent goop on her grill and her chandelier earrings, down below the navel, a clawing, hungry cretin tattooed in talcum, Crisco, and raw cadmium. Graffito scratched out an early form plebeian, found scared again by a woman so raw, clawed, and natural, talked too much dumb smack outside by the mackerel, riding a wave of someone else's cover of debaser, replacing all the nouns with unlikable faces. Contrarian claptrap dulled all the night's flavors, drip dampening the company, mouthing trite mutterings about aliens. Back on the Christian guilt tit, suckling, bloated with self-hatred. I made my bed into a bomb, and then I fucking got laid in it. What if my baby already done me? Knows my sad, pathetic nature. What if she already knows that disaster is my median? Whispering to myself, shitbird, dirtbag, useless comedian. Butt of a joke I'm way too old to be seen with, doing a cameo, stuck playing a paunchy baby fetus repeater. All right, let me see if there's anything else that's more easily accessible, because that one I really think to think about.
It's nice to have time to digest
Okay.
in between the talks.
Okay. It makes
Don't
me
trip on
nervous,
it.
but, you know.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So this one is called lycanthropy. And it's something that I envision being multiple parts right now, though I just have one part. So, lycanthropy, number 1. I used to think I was a witch, born into it through a main artery running strong and deep across stacked, shadowy generations. A dark and matriarchal river. Blood running north in summer, passing up or downstream to me by way of my mother. Transmitted interdimensionally, her stories drawing careful pictures. Her lips making the shapes across time. Echoing her lunar pull on me, even while gone asleep and dreaming, her mother's mother before her. Gifted with healing and poultices, seeing. The shining silver light of lineage, surfacing out of my dreams. Night eyes open in a different direction. I know the way there and back. Cold pre-dawn touch, calling, sharp as the sound of trumpets. My brain rising back into my body, returning from a night filled with flashing, episodic and precognitive travel. My temporal body, a parked vehicle, left quietly idling, with no expectation of my waking to drive it. This one's called Magic Trick. This is something a little more recent. There are things said or did that can have or make other things come into being. Like some kind of magic trick you want to say is super lame, but when you start to pay attention, it begins to seem more and more real, like super real, like right there next to you, poking you in the ribs kind of real. Like living through the end of all known humankind, and you're all alone on an empty planet, and you were wandering around trying not to go totally crazy from having no one to talk to ever, no one to hug or hate or love or even have sex with, and knowing that this will be pretty much what every remaining minute of your singular existence will be comprised of. Just wandering around, hoping like a stupid ant that something will be different, something somewhere, but knowing deep down that it probably won't be. And then all of a sudden you were like, pop, back into your body or chair, or whatever physical manifestation of contact with the exterior world draws you back with a snap, like a magician or hypnotist's fingers, as they bring their randomly selected audience member back into their bodies right there in front of us, in front of our incredulous, but smiling, joyously believing faces. All right, there we go. All right, so this one, not quite so heavy as the last one. This one's called The Theme to The Price is Right is a Blues Jazz Masterpiece. There's a lot of hope attached to just sitting passively, watching this thing we admit to one another passively is programming. Tuned in by a sound, a floating diaphanous moon-glinting veil of horns, chimes, and guitars. The host is attractive, non-threatening in his banter, the stage and the lights, the set and the audience. Colors also familiar and also time-locked. Tangerine and avocado, cocoa brown and gold with silver, all shimmering with glitter of various colors. Amazonian showgirls, their unreal glinting smiles brighter than lights at night. The rotating stage and applause in anticipation of a new stove or a brand new car or some fantasy game room fantasy. Vacation to the Bahamas or Caymans or St. Bart's or a cruise up the coast to see the whales or the bears or the natives in their natural habitat on board a massive hotel, bloatedly drifting across seas of cruise ship fantasies. And remember, no tipping allowed on the vessel. The long stem microphone held carefully between two fingers, artfully Bob Barker, a type of LA prototype. A name once bound by big studio contract on a God-given trajectory for backlit marquee. Hair slicked and eyes hopeful, wistful in his black and white headshot. Happily frolicking with a bevy of beauties satanically for decades on end in the cul-de-sac of impropriety. Suntanned and shining in mid-level gold-dipped depravity. There's so much writing on the auntie you're distantly related to, appearing there in contestants' row, jumping excitedly, face tilted back and lit so warmly, looking angelic, or perhaps saint-like, to put it in the common vernacular of our Christian age nomenclature, a loop of looping catastrophature. I think I'll stop right there.
Another round of applause for all the readers and the musician of our first batch.